So hello and welcome to another video. I will be working on this game console project I started about a year ago, and now this will be the basically part 2 of that. So I'll be finishing this project. Well, I had it down pretty well. I think there are some scuffs from we have this bandsaw which blade is bent a little bit, so it makes those marks like there, and those are quite deep, and I don't have rough enough sandpaper or enough willpower to sand them down well enough. But apart from some bigger bigger scratches, this is pretty well sanded down. And next up is applying the finish. So here it is. Well, now I just have to wait for it to dry up, so in the meantime I think I will work on the other piece. So now that I have the other part pretty much finished, I will have to now finish this one and then finish those electronics. I have to figure out how do I attach this to the, because I kind of have forgotten how to do that. But first of all I'll have to sand this down, or actually I should probably first make some mounting stuff here, because I'll have to mount this here, and I'll be doing probably by putting some wood strips here and then drilling them in and using screws to attach them. But first of all, I think but I'm not sure. Maybe I should make the attachment for this first, and then finish this up. I think that would be smart. Well, now this has these screws holding it down. The electric tape was a really bad idea for holding this down, since it left those marks everywhere. Luckily I can sand them down, and I really did have a wrong order of doing things, since this is already scuffed up in some places, like there. I should maybe sand this down again and then apply the finish another time to the whole object. And yeah, also I measured a bit wrong, so there are some little overhangs and some places where it doesn't come far enough, so I'll have to sand those down too. But I think when I get the finish on the both of the parts, I think it could look pretty great. Well, finally, after 2 months, I got this project pretty much done. I never actually got the 7-segment display working, but I'm actually quite pleased with what I've done. I've finally finished the project. To be fair, my process of making this project or doing this project wasn't that great. If I were to do this again, and I might do some version 2 again later, I'm not really sure. But if I had, I would have changed quite a few things, actually. If I were to do this again, I would plan the project beforehand and make some sort of plans for the console, like draw some control layout and diagrams or pictures of the console, and maybe even make a CAD model using something like Fusion 360. And then my process of just diving headfirst and into the project and trying to fit it all together wasn't that great, and the mistakes of past me really caught up with me in the end. And doing some testing on the components before actually building the whole console would have been a great idea, since, like I said, the 7-segment display, I can't get it working. Maybe someday I will try again, but I spent a few hours trying to get it to work, and I'm probably making some small mistake, but I don't care anymore. And finally, I never thought to put any buttons on this console. It could fit some, but I never added them, and it's a bit too late now since I don't want to touch that project anymore. Maybe play it someday or something, but I really don't want to touch it anymore. And when I start any new project, I should really go through these stages before actually making the final build. And overall, if when I ever make any new projects, I should consider all of these. Well, thank you for watching this video, and I would really appreciate if you liked and subscribed. Goodbye.